Hello and welcome to the Perth Gaming Cruise Show, episode 24. Today we have a very special guest with us today. Yes, a third person to the people Perth and beyond. Thanks for joining us. I've got my boy Pat here as always. Pat, how you doing today?
Good, man. And as you mentioned, absolutely special guest right here, as you guys can see, a third face.
Super special. So we've got Andrew from Gaming Point, and Andrew works at Gaming Point in the managerial position. Welcome to the show, Andrew.
How you going, boys? How's the day treating you?
Well,
Absolutely
considering we've just
fantastic.
come back from a VR experience with you, it's been fantastic.
That's what I love to hear.
Yeah,
Definitely,
it's been
definitely.
good. So, yeah, we're just doing a very special kind of mini episode in between our regular broadcasts. Some people may be aware that Gaming Point has opened a new VR lounge with escape room as well as PC gaming experience as well. So, Andrew, thank you so much for joining the show. We'd love to chat to you all about it. So, our first in question is always the most important, being gamers ourselves and for our community. We do want to know, what is your favorite game if you are a gamer?
Definitely a gamer, and you can't see me completely, but I've got a beautiful sleeve dedicated to Zelda. So Zelda games, love them all, but obviously N64's Ocarina of Time, best game ever.
Hey,
Chef's kiss, wonderful.
absolutely. That's
Can't go
a
wrong.
respectable
Yeah.
choice, Andrew. I love that.
Gamer at heart. Okay, so Andrew, can you tell us a bit about Gaming Point? We understand it's an international company, and there's a new, the new experience open in Perth. But can you tell us more about Gaming Point and also your role?
Yeah, no worries. Well, our company is based out of the UK right at the moment, ran and owned by Graham. We're actually the first store, so he's picked Perth as the first opening store. So this is,
Wow.
Yep, we're the flagship.
Amazing.
We are
Wow.
the test product, and we're going to make it absolutely successful. The aim, of course, is to make it worldwide.
Okay, fantastic. Absolutely. And does that also include looking at, if it was successful at Perth, going to some of the other airports in Australia first, or are you looking at other ports in the UK or internationally first, beyond Perth?
We're currently looking at a few different places overseas right at the moment, but we are having a look seriously on Sydney as well,
Okay.
with the aim, if obviously being successful, we would like to see ourselves get into every major airport.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's-
No, hear you loud and clear.
That's amazing. And it's just going off the back of that, is that your guys' target audience? We were sort of wondering between ourselves, was the airport like a purposeful choice, or what was sort of the thought process behind that?
Well, with discussions, especially with Graham, the airport, as far as we're concerned, is the prime spot. You have people that are constantly going into airports. There's no real entertainment. A lot of people have, 4, 5, 6 hours where they're just
Yeah.
sitting there. And so, with the gaming PCs and especially the VR as well, they're able to, one, kill some time, but actually enjoy themselves. Instead of the airport being one of those terrible experiences where you're going to be sitting there bored.
Yes.
You can have some fun. You can burn some hours really fast because everybody knows when you're having fun, time flies.
Yeah, it's such a great idea.
That's
I've done
incredible.
I've done a lot of traveling myself, and I've done some of those long layovers where you have 6 or 7
Yeah.
hours to kill, at 2
Yep.
a.m. or it can be
Yeah.
9 p.m., and you're just hanging around trying to read a magazine or find something interesting to do. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Who knows, Andrew, if this all takes off, so to speak, you might put the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck out of business. Watch this space. Andrew, one thing we also thought was fantastic, and we want to go into our experiences today with you a little bit later, but just building on what Pat said, and being based at the airport, it was great. What I thought was you could just come in. You don't even have to be going through customs or security and all that. You can go into the lounge area with all the food, all that kind of stuff. So are you expecting, in terms of your target audience, are you expecting people who are waiting for loved ones to arrive or their partners or kids to arrive, who are hanging around to also go and enjoy the lounge as well?
Oh, of course. For our target audience obviously is people traveling, to give them something to do. But,
Yep.
It's an exciting product that we've got. And
Yep.
there's no reason that a person can not just come into the airport to actually try our VR. You don't have to be you don't even have to be flying. You can just come and visit us and have a go.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and that's something we were thinking about even on the drive back. Hey, Pat, we were going, geez, you could just, you've got a day off, you've got a few hours off. Why not just go out to the airport and spend some time at Gaming Point?
That's it.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
Pat, did you want to go into the VR experience?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So as we mentioned before, thank you so much to yourself, Andrew and Shay, for catering us and letting us get a bit of a first-hand experience using the VR lounge you've got there. So I just pretty much want to ask you, and so you can tell our listeners out there, what kind of experiences can people expect when they go to Gaming Point or when they go to the VR lounge?
Yeah, well, with the VR, we've got many different options. You can do a simple beat 'em up style game, which is BattleBots, which you use in a sword and shield. It's only a 10-minute game, but it's a lot of fun. And then, of course, we've got the escape rooms. And each of our escape rooms have a specific design in a different type. Like you guys did the haunted mansion today, which
yes,
you absolutely had a ball. I could see
we
that.
did. We loved it. We're going to go into that soon. But how about that whole broad experience? So tell us more about like all those games and
we've got ones under the sea. We've got ones that you're battling on a boat. There's a nice Western one as well. There's themes that go into every VR, a lot of puzzles. Each game, the puzzles are completely different. So for each individual escape room, you're not going to have really anything that's the same as any of the other VRs because each one is individual and different. And they're a lot of fun. And there's no patterns. So if you want to experience something different, try a different escape room.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome.
I mean, I can definitely speak for John and I, where we had an absolute blast playing the Haunted Mansion. There were definitely a few moments in there where the teamwork was tested, or we just ended up doing our own thing.
we did discover we might podcast well together, but we cannot escape a haunted house together at all. Andrew, I wanted to, you're mentioning the VR stuff, and we have to share our experiences about today. It was just so we loved it. We had a great time. You're a gamer, we're gamers, but not everyone who's a gamer really knows what VR is and what it stands for and what to expect. And we find that some people, because the lounge is for everyone, right? Some people go in and they might be a bit intimidated, thinking, "Oh, video gaming is not for me. That's a kid's thing, or it's a bit scary, or maybe there's something that I don't feel comfortable with." Can you talk us a little bit about what people can expect when they do sign up for the VR and come in, and what it's like putting the headgear on and all those kind of things as someone who's not really experienced VR?
Yeah, well, for people that aren't really, in tune with the whole VR thing, the virtual reality, it can be a little daunting. We've already, we've only been open for 3.5 days, and we've already had, especially some older people, that it looks a little freaky for them. They don't understand it. It's all about, making them feel comfortable and just going through the rope and explaining that, none of it's real, but it's very realistic. And it's a fun alternative that the whole family can actually go in to these escape rooms and enjoy each other and play together. And that, there's no real danger and you can see each other perfectly and just work as a team. And it's like going out playing mini golf. You go and do those things as a family. You can do the same thing with VR. You're all walking around a room trying to solve puzzles together, working as a team. It's very good with family bonding. I had one family where the two boys fought like cats and dogs before we put them in.
Oh, no!
Yep. And the dad said they never get along. Put them in the VR. Strangely enough, they worked great as a team, but it was more of the fact that they couldn't see themselves. They just saw another person, like how you guys saw each other. You don't see, your actual faces. You're a new character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really key. Pat, I mean, like, I think we just have to go on about our experiences. Like, we had a great
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
So we
Definitely.
there are lots of different games, as you mentioned. Andrew, do you want to just rattle off the list actually, so that people know what all the games are they can experience in VR in particular?
Oh, I had the list. It's on my phone, which I'm now using. So,
Yeah. The ones you can remember is
That's
fine. You told
that's
us
all right. Yeah.
a couple of like quite interesting options.
yep. So there's the Battle of Osiris, which is
Yep.
the underwater stage. I won't go too many details what they do because I don't want to give it
Yeah.
away. But it's
Oh,
all
that sounds
fun.
very cool.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of aqua animals going around. You never know; one might give you a bit of a jump. We've got the Dragon Tower as well, which is a lot of
Yep.
fun. People that love dragons will love the fact of on the end of that one you get to battle one or maybe a couple.
Because
Love
we
that.
had a boss fight in ours, so to speak,
We
which I
did.
don't think
Hey,
it's a
hey,
huge
spoilers.
spoiler. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I think it's good to like, and we can go into is like talk about like the different things you do in the VR room as
That's
well.
it.
Like it was just, yeah.
We've also got the
Spoilers.
we've also got the I can't remember the name, but it's based on the Wild West. And
Okay.
so, yep, you're on a train and you've got to work your way through the train to get to the end. To, as you can guess, versus the big boss. So
There
you've
we
got to
go.
work together
Picked it.
and solve all the puzzles to get through.
Nice. That is so
That's amazing.
cool. Awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Pat, I want to throw. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah. In terms of the experience, I guess. So I don't know about John, but for myself, I've only ever tried sort of VR maybe once or twice, and it was like it was in a cramped space at a friend's apartment. So
Yeah.
it was pretty much just like you go like this, and then you see the walls come up. So it was really cool having that sort of that big space that you guys got there in the
And that's
room to just be able to move around.
Yeah, that's it. Like ours is completely different when you go to, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, I've got an Oculus at home.
Yeah,
But all the games are designed to pretty much stay still and,
Yeah.
maybe take a step forward, step back. But these ones are fully interactive. As you guys experienced, you're
yeah,
walking around a vast room, moving objects around. Everything looks real. Like you guys were
definitely.
walking around a table and that table never existed, but neither of you
Yeah,
guys ever went anywhere near walking
No,
through
we
that
yeah.
table.
didn't. We
You're
couldn't
so
do it.
right.
Yeah,
You're
you
so
couldn't do
right.
it. It's
Yeah,
in the mind. There's a table there, and you couldn't walk
Mm.
it through because it's that
yeah.
realistic.
Yep.
You're so right. And yeah, when we were talking about our experience sort of on the drive back, I was saying that like that first level, I was still sort of like I was just shuffling my feet because I was super careful. I'm like, there's stuff on the floor, and I'm like, I don't want to step over it, so I was moving super super slow. And pretty much by the second stage, or when you get more used to it, you're just you're freely
Mm.
wandering around like it's like it's real life, like you're walking in real life, which is like it's just how immersive it is. And like you
Mm.
said, there's like tables, and I was like leaning over trying to go to it, but that table was not really there. Like I could walk through it if I really wanted to, but it
Yeah,
was
there was a great scene where I'm not sure which one of you did it, threw a skull at the other, and you ducked.
I might have
oh,
done
that was
that.
either one of us honestly could have done.
We were
Yeah,
terrible. Sorry, we
yeah,
were the worst guests to have. So, I mean, people of Perth and beyond. This is what Pat and I did. We of the
yeah,
options. Andrew was very gracious. He's like, pick what you like. What do you want to try? We're like, all right, we'll try the spooky one. We'll try the horror one. We're into that kind of thing, and we're clearly great with teamwork. That'll be fine. So, Pat, can you just tell me like what it was like for you when we started in that initial stage, like you and me standing there together? What kind of things, without spoiling too much, of course.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So like as you say, like Andrew and Shay were very gracious, they let us pick. We obviously picked the most easiest, and we requested for the most basic because we know how uncoordinated we
It
are.
wasn't easy enough for us, though, was it? Yeah.
Oh, that
you know.
wasn't the easiest stage. That was kind of
Okay,
like a
thank
mix.
goodness.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, I mean, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
That was hard for us.
No, it was really cool. So yeah, you walk in there, like obviously Andrew and Shay help get you set up, get it all set up, and pretty much from there you're left to your own devices. So you're transported into this world. Um, and I think the first I don't know if I could talk about it, but like
Can we
it's
talk
more of a
about the
surprise.
first
Yeah, the
stage,
first
Andrew, or would
stage,
you
just
like
to
to keep that
describe
secret?
describe what it
You,
is.
you can talk about it in general, but don't give any hints if you get what I
Of
mean.
course
Excellent.
not.
No
Yeah, yeah,
hints. No
yeah.
hints.
But I can describe I can describe
Yeah,
the
feel
layout
free
of the
to
stage.
describe how it looked and felt.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yes.
as John mentioned, it's a haunted mansion, haunted type of thing. So, the first stage, you get transported into this, I guess, dungeon sort of level where you are submerged, maybe about chest deep in water, I would
Yeah.
say, or
Pretty deep.
about so. Yeah, that was an immediately weird feeling because you don't know what's going on below the waist or below the chest. There's stuff that's bubbling. You don't know what's going on. There's things you can pick up, and as Andrew mentioned, John and I were throwing skulls at each other. So it was, and yeah, it's basically for anyone that's ever been in an escape room. It is an escape room. There's puzzles. You solve the
Hmm.
puzzles. Sometimes the voice of God, Andrew, comes in and helps you out if you're
Yeah.
doing a terrible if you're doing a terrible job like John and I were. You do get hints, but it was great fun, and it was a really unique experience because I've only ever done VR once or twice, and I
Hmm.
loved it. I actually want to go back. I was telling John, I was like, we need to go back and try the other maps, like the dragon one. That'd be amazing.
The dragon
Yeah.
one is my
We.
personal favorite. I love.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
second stage on there is as far as I'm concerned, one of the best puzzles. It's a lot of fun. You could end up
yeah,
Yep.
literally blowing up your friend.
Oh, love it. Fantastic. That I think that's what made these experiences so great. Like we haven't tried the other ones, but I can see why that would be your favorite. Like Pat said, as soon as we started, we were picking up things and teamwork. I don't
yeah,
even remember what that word means. Like we were just looking at each other. I think we gave each other high fives once we achieved something with the help of Andrew, and
yeah,
hints, which we are very grateful for. But it was just wonderful to be going, oh, I can see my virtual hand picking this
yeah.
stuff up. And it's very easy to use. It's not cumbersome. You don't
Mm,
need to press 10 different buttons. We had one button to press and it all worked quite smoothly and cleanly. Yeah, it just had a blast of a time seeing Pat in his kind of costume and us in this scenario going, oh my goodness, like, where are we? What's going on? And by the time it's all over, you kind of have to readjust to reality again.
yeah,
It's great.
And that's a
Yeah.
thing. Like, glad you didn't describe the costumes because that's an exciting part when you get
yeah.
in, you get to see it. Each individual escape room has a different costume.
Oh,
Ah, very
Yeah,
nice.
cool.
so
Very cool.
each one is designed for the atmosphere it's in.
Okay, very
That's
cool. And
amazing.
oh,
Very
that
immersive.
oh, we're going to be back. Just with the
Yeah,
options that you have and like the broad appeal, it's great. It's fantastic, Andrew. Really, really good
yeah.
experience. Yeah, yeah,
It definitely was. So thank you so much. But okay, so I have to ask this because
yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully, so in the time that you've been open,
Yes.
um, you've had people obviously come through. What is sort of either the funniest or just the most like like in terms of experience? Has there been a time where you've had to absolutely go in and be like, guys, stop right now, or have there been just like funny things that you've seen because you guys obviously monitor what's going on
Yeah, of course.
inside the room just to make sure that everything's going okay. Yeah, have there been any specifically standouts where you've just been like, wow, these people are crazy, or you've just been
I've actually got a good one. A,
okay?
a gentleman, I'd say in his 50s, brought his three sons. They were aged roughly 12 to about 14, and they were going to do BattleBots. And
Okay,
BattleBots is a bit more of an action game, not an escape room. So you're just battling on the moon to save the moon, and you're battling BattleBots.
yeah,
And you got to work as a team. You got a laser and a shield. And so I've gone through, explained everything to the boys, and he was just going to let the boys. But I convinced him, hey, just jump in, give it a shot. It's a family thing. And yeah, my first reaction was, okay, I've got to watch the boys, especially the two younger ones. They might start running around. No, they were fine. The boys were fine. I had to actually pause the game, though, and stop the dad because he was running around like a maniac.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Far out.
Yeah, he was going for it. Absolutely came out of it, red-faced, the whole lot, sweating. Yeah, he absolutely loved it. They ended up having a second go because they loved it so much.
Oh, that's incredible. That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff that we want to hear about, like the actual immersion of just. Oh, yeah, I was telling John because he gave me a pat on the back, just on the way out, and I was just like, "Mate, don't touch me. I'm sweaty as." I was sweating out. Yeah, I was sweating after that because it does. It's very immersive. Like it does take you in.
Yeah, it does. And we do have an air conditioning system in there to make sure it's nice and cool. But at the end of the day, you're constantly thinking, you're constantly moving around. Yeah. And, the game goes for almost an hour.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get a little bit of a sweat.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
On that, Andrew, with people bumping into walls and the technology that they're using, have you had to think about the safety aspects as well? Because it felt very safe to us. I mean, when we were getting close to a wall, it was very clear where the wall was, and it would bring you back to reality in that sense. And you and Shay did a fantastic job giving us a brief about what to expect and how to go through the whole experience safely. How did that go when you were designing and planning all this, you and Graham, and thinking about that from a safety perspective? Because you do have young children, and then you have people who you might not expect doing what they shouldn't.
That's it. Like with the VR escape rooms especially and the battle bots, we wanted to make sure that you could have fun, but there was as minimal chance of actually getting hurt as possible. So, of course, you can see through the VR, you can see each other, so you all know where you are. As you know, I ran through the steps, so you understand that you're not allowed to move fast. You can't, start tackling each other for one thing. Everything, we make it very clear at the start, everything in that room is fake. So don't try to take a seat. Don't try to lean on a desk while thinking. It's gonna be a painful experience for you if you do any of that. So as long as everybody follows the rules, and that's why we do have the age restrictions as well. Like it would be lovely to get the younger kids in, but we all know kids roughly, 10 and under won't follow rules. As soon as they get excited, they're going to start running around. And although we have the barriers up to show you where the walls are, if they're running too fast, they're going to hit that wall before they see the barrier. And so we do have the age restriction. It's 12 and above, but with parental permission, we will do 10 and 11.
Oh, okay. It's good to know. It's good to know for the parents out there.
That's it. But if you do have, a couple of older kids and a couple of youngers, while you guys are playing the VR, we can always put them onto the gaming PCs, and they can have a bit of fun on our Steam engines. We've got a whole bunch of games that they can absolutely go to town on.
Yeah, and that was what we wanted to get in next.
Yeah, that's a nice segue.
Yeah.
Literally been asking about that.
Yeah. Pat, did you want to do the honors?
No, you go.
Yeah, so I think it's fantastic that you've got this VR experience because from, what we experienced, it's something that's something everyone should try and could try, and it's great for those age levels. But you mentioned you do have that PC gaming experience that other people can try as well, and a lot of people they're more familiar with PC games. They grew up with games back in the days like Warcraft, or they're playing modern games like Dota or whatever they're playing, and consoles as well. So can you tell us a little bit about that, what PC gaming experience they can have specifically?
Well, currently, we've got the 22 games installed onto there, and a lot of them are, up-to-date games like, the new Hogwarts Legacy. We've got some racing games. Yeah. And I've tried it out myself. It's actually quite fun. Yeah. So, of course, I'll get into trouble if I play it too much.
Yeah. It's a curse and a blessing working there.
That's it. And we've got, the Destiny 2 as well. We've got Counter-Strike. And, we've got quite a few games that there's pretty much a game for everybody's taste.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And it's cool that you guys also have like it's not all multiplayer games. Like you mentioned, you have Hogwarts Legacy there, which is it's a fantastic game. If anyone out there has not absolutely gone into it, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so
Mm.
I definitely go in on the Hogwarts Legacy. So it's nice that you've actually got an inclusion of single player games like that, as well as your old favorites like CS:GO, where a group of people would absolutely smash and play together. But if you
Mm.
were just a singular traveler, like probably me, because I don't
Yeah,
really have friends, I could just go. I could just go in there. I could just go in there, and then I could just hop on a machine, and I could just play a game like while my
that,
time away. So
that's it.
it's
And
amazing.
we've got some sports games as well for the sports enthusiast gamers. Like we've got the newest FIFA and we've got the newest
Oh,
NBA 2K.
oh my goodness
Oh,
me!
Yeah, that's
nice.
Yep.
it. And for if you've got a couple of youngins, we've got
Hmm.
simple games as well. Like we've got a couple of Ben 10 games, Among Us, little games
Yep.
like that as well that you can just
Yep.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
That's
Nice.
awesome. So they can have that multiplayer experience together,
Yeah,
like while they're there
exactly.
as well, correct? Oh, cool.
That's
That's
it.
fantastic.
that
You,
is that is so cool.
oh, you really thought of it all, Andrew. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
Well, Graham's
and
got to take the credit on that. He's this is his baby. I'm
Yep.
just the
yeah,
guy making sure that everything's running.
And it does, and it runs very well.
equally an important job.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah. So for the PC lounge does that work on the same sort of model as your VR lounge? You go in there, you pick a cubicle and you get that for a set time, or do you just sort of keep topping up as you do?
You pretty much pay for what time, the amount of time that you want. So
Oh, okay, beautiful.
if you've just got a spare half an hour, you
Mm.
can jump on. Just cost $20. But
Yep.
if you're going to be there for 4 hours, you might as well just spend the $60 and you get the full 4 hours.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
That's awesome. And
And
just speaking about pricing, how much does it cost to experience the VR escape room? What's the price to experience that one, Andrew?
Yeah. So if you wanted to do something like the battle bots, that's
Yep.
just $20 each.
Yep.
And if you're looking at the VR escape rooms, it's $45 each. So currently,
Okay.
right at the moment, because we're in the midst of, it's the first week and we're going to do, a bit of advertising for it. So we're giving a 20% off discount for the VR escape rooms.
Oh, we love a discount.
you
That's
do.
it. And we got a really good discount if you want to come in and have a quick experience of VR just to see if you like it. Try the
Yep.
BattleBots. We're giving 50% off. And so it's only $10.
Wow. There you
Awesome.
go. That is
Fantastic.
incredible. There you go, listeners, wherever you are out there. You're in Perth, you're traveling, go check it out. It's absolutely incredible. It's a great experience. And also, it'd be worth noting that the VR escape rooms, Andrew, I think they go anywhere from about a half hour, 45 minutes,
Uh,
if I'm not
the
mistaken.
escape rooms, I mean, if you're really good, you could probably knock it out in half an hour. Though
Yeah.
I haven't even managed to be able to do that. So kudos to you if you can.
I mean,
Uh,
Pat and I nearly didn't we? No, wait a minute. We took
Yeah,
about an
no,
hour
no,
and with
yeah,
a lot of
sure.
prompting.
We needed extra time.
We did. We needed
you
a
only, you
30
only
minutes.
needed 2 extra minutes, so you guys were good. But on a general basis, it will take around 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Andrew, that's wonderful. It's just, from our experience, knowing that this is something that's accessible to people who aren't even flying. If you're at the airport, you're working, you're visiting, or even if you've got time off, you can go out there and try it. This is something we will highly recommend to our viewers and listeners. We had a fantastic time. We didn't. We have that's all we have time for at the moment. So, did you have anything you wanted to check with us before we wrap up today, Andrew?
Oh, no, it was just lovely meeting you guys. And honestly, you had me laughing the entire time watching you guys in the escape room. It was an absolute ball.
Oh,
I,
thanks so
I
much.
would I would love to say a couple of things you did, but it would just give away too much. But it was
No,
hilarious.
we prefer not to be embarrassed
Yeah, let's,
on the tube.
oh,
We were
mate.
absolutely terrible. We didn't run into the wall, though. I'm pretty sure we didn't, did we? No, we didn't.
No, you never came anywhere near it.
Excellent.
And
Awesome.
thank
Well,
goodness for that, at
Andrew,
least.
lovely meeting you. Wonderful experience. To anyone who's out there looking to travel soon down the track, please do check out Gaming Point. It's Terminal 1. Just go up the escalators where you'll see a few stalls, quite easy to find. Even if you're not traveling, check it out. It is a wonderful experience, the VR side and then the PC gaming side. That's all we've got time for today. Thanks again for joining us. And Pat, Andrew, that's the Perth Gaming Crew show for this episode. Signing out.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, guys.